Friday Night Live with Cat Carter. Get ready, set, let's go. Come on. It's Friday night. It's Friday Night Live. It's Friday night. It's Friday night with Cat Carter. It's Friday night. Hey. It's Friday night. It's Friday night. Yeah. It's Friday night with Cat Carter. It's Friday night. It's Friday Night Live. It's Friday night. It's Friday night with Cat Carter.
Hey, welcome to Friday Night Live. I am your host, Cat Carter. How are you all doing this evening? OMG, we made it another year, another week. Oh my gosh, I've been having it's been a week for me. And I'm always so excited for Friday Night Live because I can wind down with you all and have a great time after a long week, listen to some great conversation, get some encouragement. And, this is our no stress zone. So welcome to the no stress zone. And if you are here, I tell you what, my artist tonight, OMG, he has been here before. And I love his spirit. He has such a humble type of spirit, and he is known all over the world. Carl Cox is here. Yes. And so I'm going to do our encouragement, and then I'm going to bring him on. All right. So our encouragement tonight reads, how much simpler my life would be if there were no disagreements to resolve, no challenges to work out, no dilemmas to clear up. Yet even with all of life's ups and downs, I can enjoy stress-free simplicity by allowing God's gentle spirit to work in and through me. In prayer, God takes me by the hand and leads me into a realization of peace and contentment. Here with God, I am open to the wonders of life. I understand that the most complex situation becomes simple. I gain a new perspective, a clarity of purpose that gives me the strength I need to live life fully. Every moment of the day, taken from the Daily Word, 365 days of love, inspiration, and guidance. OMG. So, like I said, Carl has been here before. I haven't seen him in 2 years. He has been so busy. I'm so excited for him. I have been lurking on Facebook and all over the place and seeing him. He's been doing some amazing things. And just to tell you a little background, just a little bit about who we have here tonight, let me tell you some of the people he's worked with. Let's see. Mesa, which I love. Brian Culberson, y'all know who that is? Look, there's a long list of greats. I'm just telling you a few, okay? Fred Hammond, Salt and Pepper, Big Daddy Kane. Oh my gosh, Smokey Robinson. Are you serious? All right, let me get him on the feed right now. Oh, yes. Let me see. There he is. Hey, Carl.
Hey, what's going on?
OMG. I am just so excited to have you back on Friday Night Live. I feel like you've been gone too long.
Yeah, it's been a long 2 years, that's for sure.
But you have been so busy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was drowning for a minute there, but I'm coming up. I'm coming back up.
Yes. I'm just so excited for you. And it's always an honor to have you on the show. I mean, I don't take it lightly. I know that your schedule is very, very tedious and very busy. So I do appreciate you taking time out to hang out with me.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So you know what? I want to start out the gate starting some mess. So I want to, you got a new single that just got released. Like, has it been 12 hours?
Yeah, it hit last night at midnight. So, I'm kind of excited about it.
I am too.
I actually played it last night live with the band, and I had a gig last night, and it was my show, And I said, I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this new song. You guys got to learn this song for the gig. And they're like, all right. I guess we can learn it, So we pulled it off and we revealed it last night, and then it came out for release on all digital outlets. Any of your favorite outlets, it's called Stick With It with a D.
Yeah.
But so it's a bouncy, fun little groove tune, so I hope everybody likes it. I think it's going to be a cool tune.
All right, can I play the snippet of it right quick so they can
hear it?
All right, here we go, y'all.
Stick with it.
Ooh, how did you come up with? Because you spell it interesting.
Well,
so why did you? Why did you do
I collaborated on that tune with Chris Big Dog Davis, who's the icon of smooth jazz right now. He's an amazing producer. He's got his own music out under his own name, but he's done Mesa's productions or CDs. He's you name it, he's done it. So we got a chance to meet over the years with Mesa, and I said, hey man, let's start collaborating. So the last single I got that was on XM Watercolors, and Billboard and all that stuff was with him as well. It's called Can't Hurry Love, and we did that collaboration, went well. And I said, let's do another one. He goes, I got this tune that needs a melody, and it needs a hook and harmonies. He says, I think this might be up your alley, man. So I listened to it, and I always listen to a couple rhythm tracks to see which one resonates.
Mm-hmm. And
we kept trying to get something, and we were just like, yeah, just stick with it. And it just happened to hit. Like, just stick with it, and something will come to me.
Yeah.
So stick with it, and keep going at it. And we came up with that little, bouncy kind of groove tune. So it was cool.
Well, best wishes on that. I love that groove. I love the sound of it. It sounds so fresh and
nice I'm excited about this one because radio is a funny thing. If you go too fast with a tune, you can only get played in like an evening and or a drive home. If something's too slow, it goes in the mornings at 2 a.m. Mm-hmm. So this one's kind of got a little bit of everything, like morning, afternoon, nighttime. It's kind of hits all the all the time frames of the day. Yeah, which is a thing, with radio.
You're absolutely right. I have about over 15 years of radio announcer experience. I used to be a radio announcer.
Oh, okay,
you are exactly right. Like, depending on the speed.
Yeah.
Of the genre or the song, it does get placed in certain places. So you are absolutely correct. Yeah, but that one, I just believe you're right. They can play
that's kind of like middle of the run, like
drive, afternoon drive, evening.
You could be sipping coffee, kind of grooving, waking up. You could be driving home, like it hits all those points in the day.
Yes,
and it's kind of strategic at sometimes, but not purposely, but it just so happened to be.
Would you character your music as smooth, or do people like describe it? Do they describe your music as smooth, or what would you describe it as?
So I don't like the word smooth jazz. Well, here's the reason.
Okay,
and it's fine. Somebody and created that tag frame in smooth jazz. It was called contemporary jazz. And then smooth jazz got thrown in there at some point, and it has a stigma of like, oh, it's a smooth jazz tune. It's not real jazz. And I come up playing real jazz, like traditional stuff. I learned Cannonball Adderley stuff and Charlie Parker, all the greats that did a lot of stuff. But I try to throw some of those quotes in to some of my music when I can strategically place it. Because sometimes people in industries, they say, hey, it sounds like you're noodling, too much noodling. And it's not really noodling. It's just vocabulary that comes out of jazz, So smooth jazz sometimes gets put in a box and you can't really get out of it.
Yeah.
and play a little bit more vocabulary and like a little more creativity, So I try to throw that in there and like some solo spots, you might hear it. And, if you listen to the song, you hear me play a solo, and I
Hmm.
might throw some of those vocabulary things in from, the greats. And I guess that's my little difference in smooth jazz, so to
That
speak.
was really good though, because it's very popular. Smooth. I mean, I guess it's like it's a catchy smooth jazz, but
Smooth
right, it
jazz.
started
Yeah.
as contemporary. And a lot of
Contemporary.
people don't know that. And then
Right.
somebody put a spin on it like that. And I'm so glad that you were able to figure out how to take it out of the box.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. When people think of smooth jazz, they go, oh, sleepy music. Some people think, oh, it's sleepy music, meditation music, or
Yeah.
it's
And it's not
background
all of
music.
that. Yeah.
And I didn't want it to be that. I want stuff to be like, yo, man, come on, who's this, man? Like
Hmm.
I want to make something groove and make it feel right with a lot of soul. And, that's kind of like my background, so let's
Well,
call it funky jazz.
the funky jazz.
we
You
can
know
make
what?
our own, we can make our own tag.
When we hear your music, we're like, who is that? Yeah, who is that? Yeah, that's what we say. That's what we say. That's what we say.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what we want.
All right. So how did you get started? Like you've been here before, but we have some new people that have been on. So maybe can you give us like tell us a little bit about yourself, like the short version? I mean, there's a lot to say, but can you give us like a short version?
Well, I mean, just in general about myself. Well,
Yeah.
I'm a full-time educator,
Yes.
in music. So it kind of like is an awesome experience to be able to play music and then teach it. I teach jazz, and I have an awesome jazz band with kids, and we won like national titles at Berkeley School of Music,
Congratulations.
and we state champs last year in the state of New Jersey. And I just have great kids, and I'm trying to keep that flagship of America's music going, because
Yes.
if I don't do it and educators around the country don't do it, it's going to disappear
And we don't
from
want that.
from the youth. So if we can keep some of those kids interested and having fun with it, so that's one aspect of my life. The other aspect is playing. And I just got off the road with Incognito. We did like a 3-week tour in the States,
Wow.
and that was a lot of travel, but it was amazing experience. I mean, the band is just hot. I mean, you just play and you're like, whoa, it's like a Ferrari, and the band is amazing. So I'm doing that, and I was subbing on a lot of Smokey Robinson Gates over the years for a good friend of mine, Ken Joffrey, and playing with Mesa, of course. She's
Yes.
my main girl. Like if she gets a gig, it's like, all right, I'm there for Mesa.
I love her sound. She has such a beautiful
Oh
sound. Every once in
yeah,
a while I can catch her on Facebook. She might do I think it's a kitchen. She's
she
in the
does.
kitchen and yeah,
Yeah,
and but oh my gosh, it's so she has a very unique type of voice. It just draws you. I would it would be an honor to really have her on the show. Maybe one day I can get her on here, but oh my gosh, I
yeah.
love her.
She's got you said it. She's got a unique voice, and control, like just the softs and her lines and
Yeah.
everything is just really really great.
Hey, we got some people on here I want to send some shout outs to. We got first off, we got Rose Lady Edmonds on here, and she said
Oh yeah, I know her.
More and more artists are doing things in their music to get out of the box, but we need an ear to hear and notice. Yeah, that's good. You also have Gary Snoot. I thought I saw him on here. He is amazing on the keys. He's on here hanging out with you. And
Cool.
Daryl Anders. Did I see him? Yes. Welcome to the show. He said he loves your work. He loves your work.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Oh, look. Gary say, I'm listening while cooking. What you cooking, Gary? I don't know what he's cooking.
Are you gonna like try to get like FedEx to send some food to me?
He was just on here. I think Gary was just on here a couple of months ago. Yeah, that was amazing as well.
That's
Yes. All
awesome.
right. All right. So, what do you enjoy most about being a musician? Like you go out there and you see millions of people. What is that? What is that like? Is the experience the same? Is it different? I mean, what?
As far as playing on the stage and
Yeah, what is that like?
yeah, I mean, well, I used to get like years ago, I used to get nervous, and if I had a solo on a big gig, and it would make me, I would just go, oh God, I hope I don't mess up, and all these things would run through my head, and it's like, what if I mess this up? I'm going to lose the gig. But as I started to mature and playing and on all these stages, I started to realize it's like people want to see a good show, and they're just out there to have a fun time. And then my mentality started to change the outlook on how I would play. So now I get more excited. If I see an audience, I get more excited to play for them because I want them to receive it well and have a good time. So like
Yeah.
I just enjoy having that experience. It's like a high for that hour. It's just people get really excited about something you're doing. And it's like, oh yeah, man, this is what it's all about. But those
Yeah.
those 23 hours of traveling after the 1 hour show, that's another story. But
Ooh.
yeah, traveling will beat you up. That beats you up.
That can
But
wear you down. Yeah.
yeah, it can wear you down for sure.
I can relate to what you're saying. Like when I remember when I can use that when I first started teaching, I would be like nervous, just really nervous with these professional students and don't want to say the wrong thing, don't want to mispronounce a word because I'm a
Yep.
scientist and there are these big words and stuff you don't want to mess up. And then now it's just I've learned to enjoy the journey. I've learned I think I have more confidence in myself.
Right. Yeah.
And I know that I know my stuff and I know
Yep.
that it's good. And if I mess up, sometimes they don't even know. They don't know
No.
I'm teaching, so
That's
I
the same
think
with
those,
music. People don't know
yeah,
that you
yeah,
mess something up as long as you
yeah,
play it off,
yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, you were just, where were you at? Because we were supposed to do sound checks, y'all. And Carl said, no, he had a gig and he was doing something last night. Tell us what you were doing last night. Oh my gosh. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let me see. I am just so excited for you. I'm so excited. An hour is just not enough with you. Let me see. Tell us about this, Carl.
Oh yeah. So this club recently opened up near me. It's in South Jersey.
Okay.
And the owner is Mark Wilson. He's actually from Chicago, up near your way.
Oh, I need to reach out to him.
Yeah, Mark Wilson, Marque, Mark.
Okay.
And he renovated this building that we had in South Jersey. He wasn't doing anything with it, and he put a couple $1 million into this place. And he does live music 4 days a week.
Wow.
And he has jazz nights on Thursdays, and he features like a lot of local artists and some regional artists. But he brought me in last night. We had a sold out show. People love the music, and they were there just for jazz. And it was really a great establishment. It looks like,
sounds like it.
It's all brick inside and has like all these statues of like a guy holding an upright bass.
Oh wow.
The red brick, right? Oh, like a Chicago thing, and very high end, classy kind of joint. And so I was there last night, pretty late. So I'm here now.
So that was great. I know that was a great experience too, as well. And then your single just hit at midnight. My goodness, Carl. I mean,
No,
woo.
I'm just full steam ahead.
Oh
whatever.
my gosh. Yeah. You know what? Look, Gary said he's cooking fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, green beans, mashed potatoes, and rolls.
I had that last night at the Wilsons. I had that. Everything he just said, I had at Wilsons last night.
I got hungry.
It was soul food. It was so good.
Oh my gosh. Well, Carl, you know what? I want to hear some of your music. Tell me about Elevation. Let's do that one first.
Okay. Yeah. So that was a single right off my record, called Thankful. And I picked a couple singles off the record to go for radio. And that one was probably the most successful. That one made top 30 smooth jazz Billboard, and
Wow.
It was on Watercolors, picked it up for like 5 months. So I was really, really grateful. It was just a tune that resonated with a lot of people, and the rest is history, So it was really cool to see that.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I don't think it's done yet because, well, you all see what he's talking about when y'all listen to this. Check this out. All right, had to unmute us. Yes. OMG, Carl.
Yeah, I love that song.
Oh,
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs to get a chance to stretch it out a little bit.
ooh, that's a beautiful. Oh, I love that beat. Oh my gosh. So, Rose Lady said, she said, I just heard an unordinary note in the music. Oh, he didn't hit something different. Uh-oh. You
Well,
didn't.
I think what she's referring to is maybe I step outside the box a little bit sometimes,
Mhm.
and if you listen to this traditional jazz, you'll hear certain notes that are saying, "Hey, that's not a note that I'm not used to hearing." But it's like when you start listening to other jazz and other, traditional jazz, you start to hear those little unordinary notes, but it's like a little tension, but then you resolve it and it creates like this cool little like tension release kind of thing that's so cool about
Yeah.
jazz,
Yeah.
a bebop lick. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, she knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. So I might hit one note, it's like a little, and then you resolve it, and that's what I was talking about, because a lot of artists are afraid to kind of go there, or they don't know how to go there, and it just it's just kind of cool. I just kind of throw my little hat into the ring and say, hey, there's a little tad of the bebop,
Yeah. It's like
because
your signature sound a little
yeah,
bit.
kind of like
May
study
set you
that.
apart from others a little bit. Yeah.
Right. Like if I just play the blues the whole time, it'll sound great. But if I throw a little extra spice in, it's like,
I hear
whoa,
you.
whoa, what was that? Keep some people like a lot of jazz musicians will see, oh man, yeah, you really played on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's pretty cool, to throw a litw bit of that in.
Okay, Rose Lady has a question. When your music goes on Sirius XM, do you get residuals each time it's played?
So that's a great question. And thankfully, yes.
Oh, woo.
Because XM is extremely difficult. And I'm sure there are guys on here that know this. It's very difficult to get your single on there. I mean, I don't know what the percentage is of people that don't get on there, but it's got to be somewhere around 90% of people just don't make it. And
I didn't
even,
realize it was that hard.
oh, it's unbelievably difficult. And
Wow.
even well-known artists don't get on sometimes with their singles, Um, and I haven't had every single make it either. I've had maybe when I went solo, maybe 2 years ago,
Hmm.
I think I had about six or maybe, probably six singles, maybe seven. And I had two of them not make XM radio for whatever reason. It could have been a heavy week of
Mute. Oh, there
big
you go.
A-listers, but it's hard to know. But if you get on there, they'll play it for a good amount of time, and that's the only reason that I can keep doing this, to be honest with you. If I don't get
I
XM
wonder.
radio,
Oh, I wonder what type of measurement, or like we'd say rubric. I wonder what kind of measurement they use to decide who gets on and who does not.
that's a really good question, and I don't know the
I'm just
answer.
curious. I wonder if I can find out. I'm a scientist. I'll do some research. I'll find out. But
Hey, if
it's
you
just
find out the special
interesting.
secret, let me know.
Let you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've been high percentage, but not 100%. It
Wow.
There are directors there, and they
Yeah.
manage it, and they decide what fits the bill for their station. And if for whatever reason they don't think that particular tune fits, they won't add that. But other Billboard
Wow.
stations will. I'll give you a perfect example. This is a really good example. Yeah, Jerry, I'll let you
Gary
know.
said,
You let me know if
I'll
you
let you
find
know,
out. Yeah,
Gary.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell all y'all,
Yeah,
all
but
my,
if there's some
all my
secret
artist
sauce I
friends.
need to know about, but it all depends on what they're feeling and what they think fits, and who. I think the other aspect with that is they only add maybe 4 or 5 ads a week, and they might have 20 people going for ads in 1 week, and then another 20 the following week, and then another 20, and
Wow.
then you're only adding 4 or 5. So if you're up against like Dave Koz or Gerald Albright,
Yeah.
and then you have like Adam Hawley, great guitar player, or all
Yeah.
these big A-listers, going at each other the same week, it's a difficult decision for a director to say, well, what tune do I really like, and who do I
Right.
need to add? And I don't know the answer, but I really would love to find out how it works. But I just been
Wow.
lucky to be on it, and I'm not questioning it. I'm just gonna let it
Congratulations
ride,
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations, congratulations. I got
Thank
a
you.
chance to meet Cameron tonight, so I have a
Oh
question.
yeah, oh yeah,
How
my
do
son.
you how do you balance, yeah, how do you balance um family with your music career? How do you keep that
Yup,
balance?
a lot of coffee. Starbucks is my middle name. Now, sometimes I come home from teaching and I'll pick my son up and I'll try to play a little bit. And then I sit on the couch and I just nod off for like an hour sometimes, And then the hardest thing for him was when I went on the road with Incognito. He had a hard time with that because I'd never been away from him that long. When he was little, he didn't realize, but now he's 8.
Yeah.
So now now he's like, Daddy, when are you coming home? And he's
Mm-hmm,
starting
mm-hmm.
to put two and two together, like, oh, okay, Daddy's a musician too. But
Oh my goodness.
it's a delicate balance, but I'm really good about making time, honestly, because I teach during the day and I come home, I'm with my family. I come home, like tonight I'm home, and tomorrow I'll be with them all day, and then I'll do a gig at night, and then I'm with them all again Sunday. So I mean, it's been really good. I mean, I just try to make it work, drink a lot of coffee, and you know, do my thing with them.
Yeah. Whatever it takes, right?
Whatever it takes. Yeah,
Whatever it
it
takes,
ages me
yes.
a little bit, but that's okay because
Well,
you don't.
Carl, I have to tell you, since the last time I saw you, you don't look like you've aged a bit at all.
Well,
Now, me, I think I'm
you
sure I
should
got a
be my
couple of birthdays,
PR.
but you don't look like.
It's just this new camera I got. It just makes me look a little bit younger. It smooths me out a
Is
little
that
bit.
what it is?
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
What would you say would be the highlight of your career as a saxophonist so far? Is there one? Are there
Um,
several?
you know, honestly, I think the highlight was going solo 2 years ago, and then having all this acceptance with radio, and being a sideman for so long is awesome. I mean, it was great,
Yeah,
but you don't really get taken as serious, I don't think, as a player until you decide to put your own music out, and you just put it out there for everybody to see, and you want to see how they're going to react to it, and how people respond to you as a player, and what they think
yeah.
of you as a musician and a writer. And I was nervous about doing that for a long time because I didn't think I had, the ability to really come up with great hooks and melodies. I knew I could play, but I didn't know about the creative, process. I didn't have
Hmm.
faith in myself really. And then when I just decided to do it, I had a promoter, and I worked with a couple of different artists, and I said, let's do it. I'm gonna do this. And people at gigs would always say, do you have an album out? I heard you play, man. I want to hear you. I want to hear you play. You need to do an album. And I said, yeah,
Wow.
no, I'm good. I don't need to do that. But then finally during COVID, it allowed me to sit down in my basement and write. And
Yeah,
and that's why,
everybody was stuck in the house.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, I'm stuck back here, and I'm like, what am I going to do? So I said, that's it. Now's the time. And I did it. And it's been really a great 2 years of just a slow upward trend. More and more people say, hey man, I know your name. I saw you play on watercolors or this and
Hmm.
that. And little by little, and you start to meet other people, and you start to see
Yeah.
people that saw you on a gig, and it's like, oh yeah, man, you're solo now. Yeah. I was like, yeah. So hire me for a gig if you got a gig. So it's been
Yeah. Yeah.
that's been the highlight, I think, so far, because I'm in charge of my own gig, and
Hmm.
own show and own music, and everything came out of you know my creativity. And I think that's probably the most rewarding thing I've ever had, honestly, to present myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's good. So, Carl, you have collaborated with just about at least all of the greats that I know. Who else would you like to collaborate with? Or is there anybody on the feed that want to collaborate with Carl?
Hey, I'm
It's
always
probably
in.
switching. Like, I want to collaborate with Carl. But I'm just curious, like, who would you like to collaborate with that you haven't already?
Stevie Wonder.
Ooh.
I would love to do something with because I love his sound and his approach to chord structures and all that
Oh
stuff.
my gosh.
But I know Mesa knows Stevie. She toured with him for a while, and she was on the Jungle Fever album
Hmm.
on the record. But we did a gig in Cabo, and she said, "Hey y'all, I just want to let you know, like just real relaxed." She's like, "Stevie Wonder's
Hmm.
in the audience. I just want to let you know that." And I'm like, "Oh my
Oh, no
god,
pressure.
yeah." But then after the gig, I followed her and tagged her like a little puppy dog, and went back to where he was in his own little, you know, I don't even know what they call them. They're like a little
Like there's, yeah,
private
I know what you mean.
studio out
Yeah.
in the front, and it's in
Mm-hmm.
Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And he had his whole entourage there, and then his wife comes up to me and says, "Who are you?"
Oh my gosh.
I go, I'm with Mesa. I'm with Mesa." And she's like, "Oh, you're good. You're good." So we were hanging out with Stevie, but if I could write with something with him, that would be amazing.
Oh, that would be epic. I
Epic.
don't know if I would want to know if he was in the audience. I
Yeah,
think I
that
would want to
was,
know afterwards because I
yeah,
don't, oh my gosh.
yeah, it was,
Woo! But you
he's
you
such a
you
nice guy.
powered through it, but he seems
Yeah,
like it.
she just kind of told us last minute. I think Stevie's coming to the gig, just to let you know. So I was like, oh man. But there were a lot of other artists on the gig, it wasn't just us, but they had Jeff Lorber on before us, and
Hmm.
they had a whole slew of people on the gig. So he was just there hanging out, listening to the music. So it wasn't too bad for me to do, but
Hmm.
it was definitely cool.
What kind of problems or issues have you encountered in the music industry that you wish would change or you think should change?
Ooh, that's a good question. What do I think could change in the music industry?
Yeah, like what
Wow.
is there an issue that you think that should change or that hasn't changed?
You know, um, I think, I mean, specifically to our genre, or do you mean like broadly? I mean,
Just
are you
broadly, but like if you want to be
jazz in
like more
particular?
personal, like with jazz, yeah, that's fine. However you want
Yeah,
to
I
answer
mean,
it is fine.
well, I mean, we've lost a lot of stations that played jazz, and that's an unfortunate
We have.
problem as a jazz artist, and we're only down like when I get these updates from my promoter. His name is Bud Harner. He's awesome. He's in LA. He's in
Hey,
LA.
bud.
Yeah, and he does everything. He does everybody. He Gerald Albright and promotes Brian Culbertson and everybody. But I think when he gives me those updates, there's only 15 stations that are terrestrial radio in the country
Are they in
playing
the
jazz
US? Oh, in the country.
in the country.
Wow.
So that means that let's say Albuquerque, New Mexico they have a Billboard reporting jazz station because they play it within a radius of 60 miles in that area. Philadelphia had one called JJZ. It was huge, 90s, early
Hmm.
2000s, and then it disappeared. And then other ones started to disappear. And now there's only 15 reporting Billboard stations left. And if you don't get 15 Billboard ads, you don't get on the Billboard charts. So it's a very small little niche. So that for me has been a challenge, that it's been difficult to get on every single station. But
Yeah.
honestly, if you get on Watercolors, XM Radio, that's national broadcast. So that's what you want. iHeartRadio, you know, um, those types of things, those outlets are the best because it's everywhere. So I think if they had more terrestrial stations playing jazz, maybe people would listen to it more locally. And in addition to XM,
Hmm.
but that was always something that bothered me. It's just not enough outlets for that style of music for me. And I'm sure others
Yeah.
would agree. If you don't pay your
Yeah, I
subscription,
definitely agree.
if you don't have a subscription to XM, good luck finding a jazz station.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it
When
can be
I
challenging.
Yeah, when I started my radio announcer career, I started off at a gospel radio station, so it was strictly gospel, and this was back in 2000.
Okay.
So jazz wasn't really heard of in
Mm,
gospel, and so what I did was I created a segment called Inspirational Jazz on Friday, and where I was able, and that's how I met a lot of jazz artists that did inspirational music. But I just wanted to expand the time that I had on, on the air to introduce the audience to another something else. I mean,
yeah.
that would be great. But you are absolutely correct. I was thinking about when you said they're closing. I was thinking about in my undergraduate school, University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, send a shout out to them. They had a station and we played a lot of jazz.
Mm,
Like some of the like universities, they
yeah.
play a lot of jazz. But as far as like just regular FM stations in the metropolitan, you're right. I don't,
Mm-mm.
and I wonder why that is. Because it's beautiful music. It's
If
instead of
you
hearing all that bump,
got to
bump,
be
bump
the
all the time,
money.
hearing something more,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. And there's an audience. There is an audience for jazz. And I think it would be bigger if there was more outlets for it. That like I'll just play like for example, I teach high school. So I had a bunch of 16,
Yeah.
17-year-old kids and I said, "Hey, I got a single that dropped today." I said, "You guys don't even listen to jazz. They don't even know anything about jazz." And this is like another class I teach that's like more general class. So they're
Yeah.
not really musicians. And I let them, I said, "Why don't you check it out? Go on Spotify." I said, "You might not like it. It's a jazz." But they listened to it and they were bobbing their heads. And I'm like, "Yo, all right." I think if they were introduced to it more and had more opportunities to hear it, they might say, "Hey, I like that kind of style of music," or even play it when
Maybe
they're
that's
doing
what
their
it is,
homework
Carl.
or something. Like it's
Yeah.
just not as readily available unless you know what to look for. So,
Yeah.
that
That's a
was
great
always
point.
yeah. Um, yeah,
What is
Jared,
Barry saying?
there's
If I can recall, I think Indianapolis is one that's still going unless that's changed. Um,
um, I don't know if they're billboard reporting or not. I mean, there could be one there. I'm not really sure. I don't know all of them, but the billboard reporting ones, there's only like I said, there's only like 15. There may be some other
yeah,
ones that are AM, maybe AM stations that don't report, but they have a station. I know there's a lot of internet radio, so you can always
yeah,
do that. Like
yeah,
JJZ from Philly went
yeah,
internet, and that's where everybody
yeah,
went. But you have to find them. Like you have to find who is DJing those internet stations, and you have to actually go online and tune in. So it's a
yeah,
little bit more of a
yeah.
step process.
But you said something that really, I'm very analytical. That's how my mind thinks. I'm a scientist, y'all. That's how I think. But when you said about the younger generation,
Mhm.
I think you hit something right there. Like if they don't know, they're not familiar with that music, like because the radio stations are playing high demand, like that the audience wants. That's what in my head I'm thinking what the audience wants to hear. But if the younger generation doesn't know about
Right,
jazz, they
right.
don't know about the other genres, who's going to push it to force the radio stations to do that? And we have to. I mean, you got my brain cells are like spinning when you
Yeah.
said that. But you hit a very good point. Let me
Well,
see what Rose Lady says. It seems that if those artists that are seasoned in the genre would join forces and establish a jazz station exclusive to jazz, even if there is a small incentive to the artist to support it. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
good.
hmm
What were you about to
I'm
say, Carl?
well. I have a friend that is his name is Adam Blackstone, and some people might know who this guy is or not. He is the go-to bassist, musical director for every pop musician that there is right now. I mean, Justin Timberlake's MD. He does the Grammys. He just won an Emmy. It's just he's just all over the place. And he was doing all this TV shows, and he was he's just amazing. So anyway,
Yeah,
he came out with an album, a solo album that just hit. It's #1 contemporary jazz charts right now, and it's Adam Blackstone's. It's called Legacy. And what I really liked about what he did was I went to college with him, and we had a band together. So I said, "Don't you forget me, man, when you get big." And sure enough, this dude's doing the Super Bowl halftime show, and he's the director. And that's what he won. The award for. And he coordinated all that stuff.
Awesome.
And he was always amazingly talented. He got me on a lot of nice, TV shows and stuff that were late night TV shows. But he did a jazz album, and it's out right now. Like it's like he's doing Duke Ellington songs, and he's got like,
oh my gosh,
straight up Round Midnight, like Thelonious Monk like tune, So he plays upright. He's not just an electric bassist, he's upright. So I was really proud of him to highlight that, because he has a lot of followers in the younger generation. And he was doing a video on Facebook yesterday, and he's like, "Look at me, y'all, look at me, blah, 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 blah." And you see his album Legacy all on the lights on this big screen in LA. And it was really cool to see that happen, because I think like he's part of the solution. He's trying to change the younger minds and bring something out that they wouldn't normally hear, because he plays with all the pop artists, but he knows the real deal, So he's kind of paying tribute to that style of music, and I think that might help bring some more listeners,
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. Carl, this show is almost over with. It just goes too fast. I have to do a giveaway. So let them know what the question is. And then we're going to do, what is the other song I have here? What did you send me? It's one of my favorites. I know the beat. I just lost it. I had it. What was that? What is the other video? You remember what you sent me?
Is it Thankful?
I know the song. Yeah, it's Thankful. We're going to do that next. We're going to do that next. Okay, so let me do the trivia. Hang tight, Carl. All right. I bet y'all don't know this answer. Let's see. Here is the question up for grabs. We have a book from Laval Bell. Your gifts are not your purpose. That's what's up today. And here is the question. Let's see. Human beings are identified by their fingerprints. How are dogs identified? By their nose prints, their back paws, their front paws, or their tongue? If you know the answer, put it in the comments for your chance to win. All right, so it's A, B, C, or D. All right, we're going to go back to Carl. Carl is looking like, what in the world?
I have no idea.
All right, so let's talk about Thankful a little bit, and let's play that one. So tell me how that came to be. I've heard that song before. That's like one of my favorites.
Well, funny you say that, because that is one of the songs that didn't make watercolors.
And, are you serious?
Yeah, just to show you just don't know what they want. And I had Bluey from Incognito as my featured guest on that track. So he played guitar on that track, and I went all in. Featuring Bluey, and I had my friend Damon Bennett come up with the rhythm track, and it sounds like an Incognito song. Really, that was my inspiration. And it is still the most played song out of all the songs that I've ever had. I look on my iTunes, and I always see, the stats every week of all your songs and where they're being played. And Thankful is getting by far the most hits every single week out of any song that I've had. And that one didn't make XM radio. So it just goes to show you really don't know what the formula is. I thought that was going to be a mega hit.
I did too.
But it's doing really well still 2 years later. And I see it, and it's just more and more countries are playing it. So it's kind of, the music industry is kind of slow globally. It just starts to stretch and stretch over time, and it builds and builds and builds. So that tune I thought was going to be it, and it is, but again, the secret sauce, we don't know what that secret sauce is sometimes.
The secret sauce. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all check out Thankful. Here it is. Okay, here we go. Wow.
Yeah, I
love that song.
Love that song.
When you came to the show the very first time, you spotlighted that song, and I love that song. I'm sorry, I just do. I don't know what's wrong. Why they, but I love it.
You just don't know. Everybody's got an opinion. So unless
yeah.
I sometimes I look at the ads. That one of the hard things is I look at the ads the week that I'm going for ads, and sometimes you're up against established artists, and that's a whole nother thing too. So there's a lot of competition for people who've been in the business for 20 years, And that could have been a factor too. It's really hard to say, but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I like it. So
Yeah, I do too. Yes. You just keep doing what you're doing, Carl. You just
yeah,
keep doing what you're doing.
thank you.
All right, we got Richard Ruttenberg on here, and we have Jazzy K Ward with K Ward Radio. He's hanging out with you today too. So
Yeah,
send a shout
Richard.
out to
Yeah,
you.
Richard's got a great project coming out. It's like really kind of like fusion jazz, really, and it's funky, ethereal. He's based out of England, and really
Oh wow.
very creative mind. And I've had the pleasure of playing on a few of his tracks as well. And he's had Jimmy Haslip on there from the Yellow Jackets, playing on
Oh,
one of the
we've got to
tracks.
get him on the show.
Yeah, Richard's. He's got a
Wow.
really a creative mind, and he challenges me with some of his stuff, and I'm like, I don't really know what I can play there, just play something. It's
Welcome
definitely
to the show, Richard.
he
Yes.
challenges me a lot. Yeah,
Wow. Wow. Richard, you want to come on Friday Night Live? I'm calling Richard. Oh my gosh. Well, Carl, the clock on the wall says that's about all. We got a few minutes left. Cheryl's going to do some shout outs and we're going to
Okay.
give something away. And I know you got some things to do. So, Richard, I'm calling Richard. But Carl, seriously though, I am honored every time you're able to come and hang out with us. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming and like sharing with the viewers. I have some new viewers on here that probably didn't know who you were. Thank you for sharing your music. This was great conversation. Best wishes on your new project. Stick with it.
Stick with it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And when time permits, I would love to have you come back and hang out. Come back.
I'm always in. I'm always in for it. I hang on Friday.
Oh my gosh, Carl. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, give Carl some hearts, some likes, and some loves. Thank you so much, Carl.
Thank you very much. Have a great night, guys. Enjoy your weekend.
All right. Oh, did you all enjoy that? Oh, Carl Cox, y'all. Carl Cox. Oh, MG. All right. So, y'all, thank you. And he may go back, sometimes the artists, they'll go back and look at what you all wrote. So you all put some nice stuff in there. He may respond. You never know. All right. So let's see what the answer to this question was. So the question was, human beings are identified by our fingerprints. How are dogs identified? Let me take Auntie off there. Okay. The correct answer is nose prints. All right. So, Cheryl, who is our lucky winner for this evening?
Our winner today is Gary Smoot.
Oh, Gary is over there cooking. Gary, send me a plate. Oh my gosh.
Some fried chicken and mac and cheese.
Gary, thank you for hanging out with us. I know that you're a busy artist as well. We appreciate you every time you have time to come hang out with us. You have won tonight. Your Gifts Are Not Your Purpose by Laval Bell. Okay, so I don't know if I have your mailing address. I need you to go to my inbox page, or you can email me. I know you have my email address. Send me your mailing address and I'll get this out there to you. Congratulations, Gary. Oh, wow. Yay. Okay, so Cheryl.
Yes.
All right. You want to give a few shout outs? We got a few minutes to give some shout outs out here.
I sure do.
Let me put you on the feed. Y'all say hi to my mini-me. There she is.
While she do all that, while she does all that, I do want to let you guys know we are now on TikTok. So if you have a TikTok, follow, like, subscribe, all that stuff that you're supposed to say. The link is now in the comments. We can't go live yet, but we totally can post videos. So come check us out over there. Let's see who else is over on the stream. We have Mother DeBose. It's good to see you, Mother DeBose. We have Miss Rose Lady Edmonds from the Jazz Corner. Right?
She is so sweet. She always posts she's always posting everybody, but she always makes sure she posts when I have artists, and I really appreciate that, Rose Lady. I don't take that lightly. I really appreciate you allow me to expand by using your platform. Thank you so much. She is just so sweet. She has a beautiful heart.
She really, really is. We also have Auntie Ada over there from Kansas watching, and I'm assuming great grandma's with her too watching as well. Hello. Mwah. We have Brother Esau Tolson popping in. Good to see you. We have Dion Mack popping in on YouTube, holding it down with Marilyn Fjord as well. We have Pastor Neil popping in on Facebook. Good to see you, Pastor.
Hold that note. Pastor Neil, my next praise and worship that's going to be in November. Pastor Neil is going to be my special guest, and we're going to have us a good time. Hey, Pastor Neil.
We also had Gary Smoot pop in, and again, congratulations on that
Gary,
book.
Congratulations.
And we're waiting on that plate. Just saying.
I believe Gary can throw down in that kitchen though. I'm serious.
Can you not smell it already? I can smell the fried. When you said it, I was like, I smelled the chicken. I smelled it. We also have Walter D. Williams, president of the NAACP Edwardsville chapter, is in the house as well. Good to see you. We also have Mrs. Gerald as well popping in. And we had Daryl C. Anders coming in to support Carl. Thank you for stopping by. We hope you enjoyed the show. And we hope to have you come back. We also have Auntie T in the feed as well. Good to see you, Auntie T. We also have Auntie Mamie. We just got the whole family up in the show.
I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. I know everybody has life and things they have to do, but I appreciate it when my immediate family does come and hang out with me. Thank you, Richard. I'm going to be reaching out to you, Richard. Don't you act like you don't know who I am when I reach out to you. Oh my gosh. And I believe Daryl, I may reach out to him too as well, see if he wants to come on here.
Why not? Join the family. We also have Miss Amy Worth popping in. It was good to see you, Amy. Miss Kimberly Rogers, good to see you as well. And Kim Phillips, new person on the feed. Don't know if you're still here, but if you enjoyed the show, we hope you come back next time.
Yes, please do when time permits.
And we also have Miss Lady Jackson popping in.
Hey,
Happy Friday. Thank goodness for FNL. That is right. We have K Ward Radio tuning in on YouTube, and we have a shout out to my official shout out to Richard Ruttenberg over on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in. We hope to have you. And then we got Stan Pirtle. Haven't seen that name in a minute, but it's good to see you, Stan.
Hey, Mr. Pirtle. Got a nice little crowd today.
Yes, we did. I think that's it. I don't think I'm missing anybody.
Well, now, I want you all to know, I mean, there are people that are listening, but if you don't put a comment, we don't know that you're on here. So you have to put a comment to get a shout out. So I know that there are people that are watching, and those that don't want to give a comment, we appreciate you as well. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah. And are you all happy that Cheryl is back? Y'all see my beautiful baby? She is just coming back. Yeah, she had surgery a couple of weeks ago, and she's getting her strength back, and she's back to, I think she's back to her old self now. Yeah, I'm glad to have her back. Did you say hi to Amy?
Yeah.
Amy.
Yeah, say hi.
Thank you so much, Richard. All right. So you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to tell you all one thing. Oh, go ahead.
Don O'Neill. Hi.
Elder O'Neill's on here. Okay. I want to tell y'all two things real quick. I'm sorry. Okay. If you got to go, I understand. Okay. So I work at first thing, this is serious. I work at a university, and today we got just a random email talking about free piano to a good home. And then when you open it up, it says, Miss such and such is giving her piano away. It was her late husband's piano, and she's downsized and she wants to give it away. And so when I saw it, I was like, I wouldn't mind a piano. So I reached out to my IT because I didn't know if it was spam or not. And so they looked at it, they said, it looks legit, it's a Gmail, just don't copy and paste. And so I reached out to her and I said, I would love to have it, to be a great blessing. I used to play the piano back in the day, would love to, try to get back into it again. And so I reached out to her and she said, great. Here is the reference number to my delivery people. These are the people that have already delivered my stuff to my smaller place, and they have the piano in storage. So contact them with this reference number. And she gave me an email. So I went to my Gmail. I got off of my work account. I got it on my personal Gmail, and I sent an email out to him. And I was like, hi, here's the reference number. Please give me a call. Put my cell number on there. Please give me a call. I'm interested in the piano. To make a long story short, my spidey senses were tingling throughout the whole thing. So when I saw the name of the movers, of course, I went looking and stuff, and I couldn't really pinpoint if they were legit or not because the name was very popular. And so when they got back on, of course, I've already gone to the Better Business Bureau. I've looked at, I've looked at all that stuff.
Right,
and so
right.
They were like, well, you can do these different deliveries. You can do ground, you can do freight, and they were all different prices. The cheapest price was like $450, which I've checked before, and that's kind of normal, like for a piano, like a huge piano, like a grand piano, something like that. And so I said, I would love to send you my information, the remaining information and stuff. If I can verify this is a legitimate transaction. And when I sent that, it went left.
Silence.
So what I'm bringing this up because these people are very sneaky. You all be careful. Be careful when you get emails. Be careful if it's too good to be true. My mama always said it probably usually is. So just be careful with these emails. Be careful. Don't be sending money to folks. Don't, if you don't know who they are, just be very careful. I would hate for you guys to lose hundreds of dollars. I mean, that's a lot of money that's a lot of money for me. Like, that's what, so just be careful out there. These people are not playing. I understand that the people that got affected by this last hurricane, there are scammers out there trying to get those people, and they've lost their homes. It's very ruthless. Like, just be careful. If your spidey senses are tingling and something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Second thing, I'm trying to get somebody on the show to talk about trafficking. These young ladies are coming up missing, okay? They're putting all kinds of weird things on cars. They're putting toilet paper, tissues. They're putting money on what do you call them? The window in the front of the car. They're putting $20 bills in there. They're putting stuff on the handles and there's tissue and stuff. And so you come out the store and you see this tissue, and you got to open up your car, and that tissue and that stuff is laced with stuff that will make you incoherent or make you pass out. They put stuff on the windshield, and if you put on your windshield, it makes a foggy. You go driving and you put on your windshield, it puts some kind of film so you can't see, and you pull over and you don't realize these people are following you. They are not just looking for the little skinny girls that are they don't care. So I'm trying to get somebody on here to talk about, because this is really bothering me. These women are coming up missing. They're probably boys and young men too, but the women, we need to get somebody on here to talk about safety, women's safety. And there are a lot of single women, and even if you're not single, I know married women, you don't always have your husband with when you go into the store. They don't care if you're married, single, they don't care. So I'm trying to get somebody on that. Last thing, what was I going to say? I forgot. I forgot. So maybe it'll come back to me, but you all just be careful. Just be careful. And we need to, when you leave the house, pray. We need to pray for, this world. Look, prayer. We need prayer. We pray over your family. Pray over yourself. First of all, thank God when you wake up, because it's not the alarm clock that wakes you up. Okay. Thank God. But before you leave, pray before you go to bed. You have stray bullets coming in these houses. You have people knocking on doors. I have a Ring on my camera, and so sometimes I have a Ring on my front door and around my house, and sometimes we get these notifications in the neighborhood about weird stuff that's going on. People are knocking on doors, trying to get in houses at 4:00 in the morning. Y'all, just be careful. Be alert, ladies. When you all are out shopping out, don't be looking down at your cell phone walking to the car. Look and pay attention to your surroundings. These people are not playing. All right, they are selling. They are taking women and they are selling them for money. All right. So just be careful. All right. I'm done. All right. I love y'all. And that's the only reason why I'm saying this. And there's nothing y'all can do about it. All right. And so next week, Lord willing, I will see you then. Have a great, great weekend. It was 30 degrees yesterday. Today, it was 80. I don't know what's going on. Well, you know what? It was 30 and then it came up to 70. But the day before that, the highest was like 30.
Yeah, the day before. Yeah, no.
Ooh, that wore me out. But I just care about you guys. I feel like we're family and we need to look out for each other. We need to pray for each other. And I'm going to probably start implementing more prayer on this show because it is needed. It is needed, y'all. So, all right. Love y'all. And I will see you next week. Ooh, okay. All right.